Facebook. Good evening. Just out here at the bird refuge by my house, watching sunset. It's a beautiful place to go out and watch the sunset or kind of finish your day. So if you're coming on, say hello to me. Just wanted to share a few thoughts on today's live challenge of Facebook offerings that a few of us are doing. Wanted to show you the place where I am. Really beautiful. So this week I am in level 2 of the spiral, and the spiral is an energy clearing, emotional clearing modality, emotional healing modality. And level 2 has to do with clearing the emotions of grief and pain, and also paralyzed will. And I have been feeling all of those in the past week, including physical pain and in my belly. And level 2 of the spiral is the sacral chakra. And in sacral chakra, we do carry a lot of pain, a lot of grief. And this grief has been in me like a storm of activation, and as well as a storm that is ready to be released, a storm that's being held in my body for too long. I want to show you this beautiful place. Really peaceful. Hey guys, say hi to me as you come on. So, a little bit about grief and pain and paralyzed will, and how it really resonates in my body in this week, and in my work, in my inner clearing, healing, energy work, emotional work. So I feel really comfortable around grief, and I feel really, really comfortable holding the grief, not only for myself, but also for others. I feel like throughout my life, I have supported a lot of people that are grieving, and somehow those people find their way to me to find comfort and to find some sort of support and healing. So when I think of grief, when I feel grief, it's a sensation of pain, it's a sensation of darkness, of all the deaths that we have ever endured or encountered in our lives, that we have witnessed, whether it's physical death or emotional death. And we hold on to a lot of generational grief and pain and suffering, grief of all of our broken hearts. Hi Lori, hi Jackie, say hi. And I'm talking about spiral level 2, talking about grief and pain and how it resonates in my body or in my life at this time. So grief, when it comes to our parents, our children, our spouses, our relationships, whether it's our partners or friends, siblings, parents, and the feeling of grief is a feeling of broken heart, and a broken heart that is supposed to happen in order for us to stay open, in order for us to break open over and over again, so that with that heartbreak, we can choose to explore a little bit more of our heartache and descend into the darkness. And for me, hi Erica, for me, grief is an important part of transformation, an important part of growth. Grief is that dark place within ourselves that when our heart is broken, that's the time to descend. And to descend into the darkness takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of levels. And in each stage of the way down into that darkness, we release and we shed parts of ourselves. We offer everything that we own, everything that we wear, all the jewels on ourselves, the anklets and the bracelets and our earrings and our crowns and our golden breastplates and our hip girdles, and we take it all off. And at each gate there's a guardian that is greeting us and that is guiding us. And as we descend down into more darkness, into more raw, hollow, naked self deep within our soul, that is where we meet that the grieving part of us, the sad part of us, the part of us that is moaning and groaning and wailing and crying and actually giving some sort of birth because of a broken heart and because of the heart being broken into so many pieces, and the heart is being broken open for our own self and our own transformation. So when we experience grief, and it doesn't have to be our own grief, we can feel the grief of others in our bodies, in our bellies. And my level 2 grief is feeling like the pulsing pain and the memories and the reminder of to keep growing and to keep transforming, and to recognize that part of ourselves that needs attention, that needs affection, that needs the authentic sympathy. The part of us that has been forgotten for so long, that's been hidden under the bed or in a closet, that's been shamed, and the part that's been in pain, and that pain that's never been recognized or faced or looked into our own mirror reflection of the grief, of our own reflection of sadness, of pain. For me this week also, it's ancestral work with my grandmother that has passed away, and my homework was to write her a letter. And as I'm writing her a letter, I am feeling her pain, I am feeling her grief, I am feeling her life and her losses and her griefs, and it's just resonating in my body. And as I'm going through this, writing the letter and feeling, I'm also releasing, and with the help of my spiral teacher, Lori. So it's an amazing experience where, although I feel so comfortable holding this grief in my body, at the same time I understand that this heaviness needs to be released and needs to go, and it's time in order for something new to transform, the old must be released. And this is where we completely surrender. We surrender and trust to the divine process. We surrender and we trust to magic of the heart, the magic of the soul. And we allow ourselves to die. We allow ourselves to die and be in the dark and witness ourselves in our tears, in our grieving process. And we are maybe even forgotten for a little while in there. And we are hung on the hook, on the meat hook, for days, whether we're under the covers, under the blankets, we're hiding from the world, we're taking a little sabbatical deep into the soul to explore the broken heart. And there is a story about Inanna. She's an ancient Mesopotamian goddess. Her heart was broken by her beloved, and in that heartbreak, she went into the underworld to meet her sister Ereshkigal, who is her dark self. And Ereshkigal has been forgotten by the world. And no one would come and grieve with her. No one would offer their sympathy to her. And so, of course, she's wailing and she's crying. And through this journey, we do find those authentic parts of ourselves that embrace that part of us and held that part of us and mourn and grieve with that part of us. So that at the end, we are reborn, and we are reborn new, and we are reborn by our own dark self who is giving birth to the new me, to the new you, through your grieving process, through your darkness, through only light and love and happiness. I don't know if it's possible to transform, if it's possible to create something new without any turbulence. And so now, at this point in my life, I welcome the grief and I welcome the pain. I welcome all the sensations of that. And I stand and I honor and I hold space for that dark part of myself that maybe is in pain and is experiencing. And I know that I will never not experience pain. And I feel like I have never not been not broken. It's important to be broken in order to continue to keep shedding day after day, to continue to be reborn. Each new morning and each new evening, it's another chance to let some part of ourselves die, some part of ourselves be released and shed like layer after layer, skin after skin, and continue to grow. In this moment of our lives, the growth is so ascending and so quick that sometimes it's hard to catch our breath because we are constantly feeling broken and overwhelmed, and we're feeling the pain of the whole world, not just of our own lives or our parents. Like, we feel men and women in other countries, and we are triggered by all the injustice that is happening in the world. And that's also how we transform ourselves and each other. So grieve and pain. And I'm feeling it this week. I'm ready to let it go, and I know that it's gonna keep on teaching me, and it's gonna keep on surfacing. And every time you are stronger and stronger, and each time, each descent, you are a little bit more wiser, and you actually rush down into the darkness and you welcome it, and you deal with it, and then you know that you're going to come up back into the light, and you're gonna sing again and welcome the sun again each new morning. Like the sun is setting behind me, I know there's gonna be a morning, and that's when I can begin again each new day. And each new day can be different from the last. So, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Erica. Yeah, thank you for letting me be in your healing container, in your healing space. I am so grateful. And this may be very well my Spiral 2, part of the Spiral 2 transformation process and journey, these lives, and I'm happy to share. And I hope everyone has a magical, wonderful evening, and honor yourselves, honor your grief, honor your pain, because it is your ally. If you sit with it, if you hold it, if you embrace it, if you authentically mourn all the losses, and in that mourning, you are giving birth to new you, and you are able to dance in that darkness with all the shadows. Thank you for watching. Love to you all. Namaste. Mwah.